So Kelly, you have a National League final to look forward to, another one, hopefully a better experience for you than last year.
Yeah, no, absolutely delighted to get back there. 7 out of 7, and that was the target from the start of the year. As you say, it's okay to get there, but you have to get the win when you are there as well. And there's nothing as lonely as losing in Croke Park, so we'll be hoping to go one step further than last year.
And 7 out of 7, you have done it in impressive fashion. There's probably a narrative out there that you are maybe too strong for Division 2. You are a Division 1 team, maybe playing in a lower grade, and you have sort of showed that. I don't want you to put any pressure on you, put words in your mouth, but you have shown that you are a quality side in Division 2.
Yeah, I think it's probably a very competitive division, even in the men's game. You know, the top 4 in Division 2 in the men's and the ladies, they're very, very competitive. And then we probably could compete with any Division 1 team as well. But I suppose it's just the nature of the league. You have to win it to get out of it, not like the men's, the top 2 go up and the bottom 2 go down. You actually have to win it outright to go up, and then it's just the bottom team goes down again. So that's probably something that could change and could be looked at, but we'll be hoping now to get into Division 1 for next year, and then really test ourselves and see where we're at.
Just on that, I know there's nothing that can be done about it. It is unfair, isn't it, that there's only 1 up and 1 down? Like when the men's is 2 up, you get a league final with no pressure on you because you've already got promoted.
Yeah, I don't know if unfair is the word, but it certainly doesn't make sense in my mind anyway. So you could basically just win every game and then still not be promoted. So I do think it is something that the LGFA need to look at going forward. And
Kelly, obviously the big thing about Armagh is probably the forward line, and obviously you're a key part of that. You have lost Alex Clark, but Caroline O'Hanlon was back against Tipperary and got 2 goals. So the forward line's really, it seemed to be ticking all the league campaign.
Yeah, no, it was a tough week there now, losing Alex, great girl, and such a big talent, and everybody was really heartbreaking for her, but I've no doubt that she will bounce back. And then we have Caroline, obviously with NAPON commitments and stuff, it's hard for her to do both, but we were very fortunate to have her at the weekend, and she had a great impact and slotted right in there. Obviously very experienced and could take up any position on the pitch. So yes, we are good going forward, but if you look at the whole league campaign, I think we haven't conceded very many goals, and we've sort of prided ourselves on that this year in particular. On our defensive shape and structure has been unbelievable throughout the league campaign, and hopefully certainly that'll be something that we can continue to bring forward into the league final and the championships.
And I think just off the top of my head, I think he's conceded a goal against Monaghan, Tyrone and Westmeath the last day. So 3 goals in 7 games. Like if he were continuing that trend, he would be happy enough with that defensive record.
Yeah, definitely. And even with the goals that you mentioned there, we've sort of broke that down and had a look at it, and we wouldn't be overly happy with those either. Maybe a bit of luck on 1 or 2 of them, but certainly something that we are working on and trying to tighten up on. And Claude and Lauren in particular are very important for that in terms of their communication and just pulling everybody back into shape and holding everybody accountable. And we are lucky in that way that we have leaders in every line of the pitch, and then even leaders throughout the whole panel. So it's definitely in good shape at the moment.
And just on leaders, like you name check Claude and Lauren in the defence, and obviously we spoke about Caroline maybe mightn't be there all the time, but a real leader, and Niamh Marley as well, maybe not there all the time, but you have serious leaders throughout every position.
Yeah, we do, and you could say we're lucky to have that, but those girls have developed over a few seasons now, and we've really come together. Obviously you have people in and out, but I feel like maybe over the last 3 years we've had a good bit of continuity with those girls, and certainly plenty of leadership throughout the pitch, and even Blahin and Amy and Aoife McCoy and girls like that. Brilliant leaders, brilliant footballers, and it's not me and Amy as captain, vice captain. pulling everybody through. It's like they're the ones getting us through, and everybody is putting their shoulder to the wheel and getting over the line together as a collective. So it's great, and it's maybe something that we have lacked in previous years.
And just you mentioned earlier, it's a difficult place to be in Croke Park after losing the final. Getting back another crack at it on another run in Croke Park, like it's a big thing for Armagh Ladies to get represented in Croke Park.
Yeah, the minute the final whistle went in the Kerry final last year, that was in our mind. Like, we have to get back here and we have to redeem ourselves. We feel like we could have got over the line against Kerry, and then if you look at Kerry's form, even they're sitting in Division 1 final now. So obviously they're an extremely competitive team and the up and coming team, and they'll probably push throughout the All-Ireland series this year. But definitely, as soon as the whistle went, it was a target. Just let's get back here and let's get the win next time, because there really genuinely is nothing as bad as losing in Croke Park, and the journey home, and just that real sore feeling. It's not something that we want to experience again, and we'll use that experience and we'll bring it into the final in 3 weeks' time, and that'll hopefully add a little bit more motivation and a little bit more drive to try and push and get over the line this time.
And maybe, Kelly, the fact you were so close and led for long periods of the game, that maybe made it a wee bit tougher to take, that you didn't get over the line.
Yeah, I think from looking back at the game, whenever they lost the player, we had a lot of opportunities to take scores and we didn't take them. So you could say that our game management throughout that 10-minute period wasn't great. And then I suppose you could say throughout the whole game. And then they brought on a sub in O'Leary, who came in and scored 1-1. So it was all within our control. We could have certainly won the game, but Kerry, in fairness to them, I suppose you could say that they maybe deserved it on the day, but I think going forward, we certainly have worked on our game management and when to push and when to slow things down and stuff like that. So that'll be really important in Croke Park.
And coming up against Laois, Kelly, I think they maybe give you your toughest test during the league. I think it was 10-5 in the end, and they give you a real tough test. You expect that again, I'm sure, in the league final. I was saying there with Tyrone as well. Actually, it was 10-5. We did really struggle. They deserved to be in the final because they've probably been the second most consistent team in the league. Maybe Tip or close by there as well. But they seem to be a little bit more defensive than any of the setups that we've faced so far. Their defensive structure is quite strong, and it's quite hard to break that down. But we have worked on that quite a bit because we know that that's what we're going to face potentially in the Ulster Championship and into the All-Ireland series. So it's just about stretching the defence and trying to find gaps. But Laois are obviously coming off the back of winning intermediate last year. They have plenty of experience in Croke Park, and they will be totally up for the final. They'll be thinking, they only beat us by 5 points, so they'll be up for it, and we need to be on top of our game to get over the line in a few weeks' time. And the fact that it was so close, Kelly, compared to last year's meeting, where I can't remember what the score was off the top of my head, 7-18 to 1-9 or something it was. It just shows you that you can't rely on, that was such an easy game last year, while this one was possibly your toughest to date. So you are coming up against a real challenge in Laois.
Yeah, I think they probably looked at last year and were like, right, okay, we don't want to concede 7 goals again, so we're going to keep this nice and tight at the back. I don't think they're quite as defensive against other sides that go for a little bit more, but probably off the back of last year's conceding 7 goals, they probably wanted to just avoid that and then really try to go after us in their attack, because they have a lot of good forwards going forward as well. But their development over a 1-year period has been unbelievable, and they'll be definitely a very tough test for us going into Croke Park. And as I say, they have that experience in Croke Park as well, so they'll not be overwhelmed by that experience or coming up to that final either, and they'll totally relish taking us on.
And I suppose, Kelly, promotion has been a big target for Armagh for the last couple of years, and having come so close last year, it's a big drive, I'm sure, within the team, and it's something that they really want to go and do now, especially off the back of 7 unbeaten games.
Yeah, it's been a target for probably 3 or 4 years now. I suppose you could say ever since we went down it's been a target, but realistically for the last 3 seasons it's definitely been our number 1 target, and that's no different this season. We are well fit to compete with Division 1 teams, and we want to get up there to compete with them, and we feel like if we get into Division 1 and we're playing Division 1 teams consistently, that'll certainly give us a better platform going into the All-Ireland series. And you're just playing that higher end football, which will bring everybody on and bring the younger girls on as well even further.
And speaking as we are now, Kelly, we're at the launch of the Ulster Championship. The final's 3 weeks away. The 3 week break, it's maybe a bit long from your last game. Maybe if you were leading into the championship, a 3 week break would be nice, but just to get the league wrapped up, a 3 week break, it's a bit long, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose you could look at it two ways. If we're injury free, yeah, it's long, but if we have a few niggles that we need to clear up, then it's grand. But I feel like maybe 2 weeks would be grand. Gives you a wee opportunity to work on a few things and to look at your opposition. 2 weeks is certainly suffice, but we'll just sort of take the foot off the gas this week and then go at it hard for maybe 2 weeks, and then we'll be fresh coming into the 15th of April then.
Brilliant, Kelly. Thanks for coming on.
No problem. Thank you so much, Rob.